Hi, I'm Paige Evans, and welcome to another session of Scrap Your Stash taught by the Two-Piece Garden Girls every Thursday. Today, I want to share with you how to scrap your Halloween stash, and I'm so excited that my video is on Halloween because Halloween is my absolute favorite holiday. It probably stems back to my candy obsession when I was a kid. So I've gathered my Halloween themed supplies from Pebbles, Echo Park, Bella Boulevard, Imaginis, Fancy Pants Design, and a stencil by Heidi Swab. Okay, so first I have die cut this big title from some ledger paper from the 31 line by Pebbles, and I want the letters to stand out some more, so I've grabbed my watercolor set and a paintbrush and a cup of water, and I've put down a piece of scratch paper on the back. I actually used the same paper for my last Scrap Your Stash video, and I am creating a black wash across the letters and just dipping my paintbrush and going over the letters. I'm not being too precise, I just want that artsy look that Wilna is so good at doing through paint. And depending on how much ink there is on the brush, it'll be darker or lighter. So just creating that artsy look, helping the letters stand out, like I already said. Okay, and to add some more artsy looks and embellishments, I'm dropping some black India ink over the background. Now we need to set this aside to dry, and while it's drying, go ahead and grab a square punch, or you can use your paper cutter or really any other kind of punch. We just want a repeated shape in the background. So you can even double up as you go through these papers and punch 2 at a time, and just punch all these 1-inch squares from Halloween papers. So I punched squares from each of these 6x6 papers, from each of these 12x12 papers, and some of these Bella Boulevard papers. And now I want to go ahead and stick them on this cream cardstock block. I used a brand new sheet of cream cardstock, but it's all going to be covered, so it'd be wisest and best on the budget just to use a scrap piece of cardstock, scrap piece of paper, even printer paper, whatever you have in your stash. It's all about scrapping your stash, right? So to help make this process go a little bit faster, I'm creating an assembly line and just putting them in rows and then adding the adhesive quickly. Sticking them down in a quilt-like pattern. The trick is to try and vary the colors so you don't have all the black and all the orange and all the white right next to each other. You just want a nice even spread of colors all around. This is probably the most time-consuming part, the punching and placing. But just sit in front of a movie and time will go by quickly. So here we go, I'm finishing up the square background. And then I place my die cut background over it, and it is a hot mess and it looks terrible and I do not like how this looks. What am I going to do? I'm going to re-die cut it from plain cream cardstock. Hopefully this will look better. Which is too bad. I really liked that black wash, but it just didn't look right. So trying again. Oh, this looks so much better. This is the way we're going to go. So the next step is to trim off the excess. You don't need all of the extra borders. And yeah, looks bad using this one. Just double checking. To create a little bit of dimension, I've grabbed these 3D pop dots and I'm placing them all across the back of my die cut paper. I probably used about 30 to 50 of these tiny circle pop dots, and I'm putting them evenly around, in between the letters, in between the lines, on the edges. It's got nice even coverage, so it'll be the same space all around. flip it over and stick it on the layout. Press it down, get it on there nice and good. Here's the photo I chose, and I'm using this new Heidi Swap template to paint some stars on the background. So at first I did a test on just one of my excess pieces of cream cardstock, and the stars looked really great. And then here I'm doing it on the layout, and when I took off the template, the stars were really blotchy. So the trick is to try and use the least amount of water as possible, and to hold the template firmly in place. Try not to move it or budge it so that it won't smear and smudge. But really the most helpful trick and tip is to use the least amount of water. Instead of watercolors, you could also use acrylic paint or ink or chalk or spray mist. But I like the look that the watercolor gives, because depending on the amount of paint that you have on your brush, you can create darker or lighter stars. So, being the perfectionist that I am, but I'm trying not to be, and I didn't like the way these blotchy stars looked, I actually re-die cut the entire background again for the third time and painted over the stars again so that they were nice and crisp. But here I am just painting over the stars. This is the blotchy look. This is still the blotchy one that I redid, but you get the idea of how to do it. Just make sure you don't use as much water. Okay, so here's the nice and crisp stars background that I re-die cut, and I'm adding my photo that I trimmed down, and then I want to use this black star scalloped border sticker from Bella Boulevard, and I'm tucking it right under the photo to create a nice little border. Then I'm taking these patterned wood buttons by Imagine and placing them inside the O's. Here's some black pearl stickers from Pebbles. I'm dotting the eyes and placing in the holes of some of the letters. And then this large black star sticker, also from Bella Boulevard, on the top right. And I'm using these black letter stickers to create a title on the bottom. Jane's First Halloween. Here's these new black glittery foam stickers from American Crafts in a spooky font. Perfect. And I'm taking these star stickers from the 31 line by Pebbles and placing them around the painted stars to create my triangle of clusters. I like the silver one, so great. Okay, using my piercer from the Amy Tangerine stitching kit, I'm piercing some holes in these letters and using these Echo Park orange jewel brads inside. Of course, you gotta flip the paper over and push the prongs down. Keeps the brads in place. Then I flip it over and press down on the brads. And then my camera battery died, but I added another border sticker on the left side of the photo and some chipboard bows from Fancy Pants Designs, and you can see all of these supplies down below. Here's another example using the exact same technique of punched squares behind a die-cut background for a previous Garden Girl project. And here's a layout that I just made recently using Halloween supplies. This is Fox's first Halloween. So your challenge is to scrap your Halloween stash, and I will see you next time on Thanksgiving.